For a third successive day, the number of coronavirus infections in the UK has reached a new record high. Just over 93,000 cases were confirmed. That's nearly 60% more than a week ago. COVID cases have also been rising across Europe. Denmark, Ireland and France are all introducing new measures to try to stop the spread. Russia has called on NATO to guarantee it will not expand its membership. The US has rejected an offer of direct talks, saying they could only take place with its European allies present. And the UK's top civil servant has removed himself from an inquiry into Christmas parties held at Downing Street during last year's lockdown. An event was held in Simon Case's office. His spokesperson said he played no part in it.
Police in Japan's western city of Osaka are investigating a fatal blaze that destroyed a downtown medical clinic and killed 24 people. Sources say the man believed to have set the fire is hospitalized in critical condition. Rescue crews rushed to this building near Osaka's biggest transit station Friday morning, where smoke billowed out of windows on the 4th floor. Within 30 minutes, the blaze was under control. A witness in a nearby building heard sirens and then saw the crowd of people gathering outside.
I actually saw one woman on the 6th floor coming out of the building or coming out of the window. I think she was the one that was trapped on the 6th floor. And then about 20 minutes or so, about like 2 fire trucks came and the firefighters actually helped her out of the building.
17 men and 10 women pulled from the clinic were unresponsive. Investigators say 2 people who fled the scene reported seeing an older man bring a paper bag into the building. They said the man set the bag down near a heater. When he kicked the bag, they said it released a liquid that was ignited by the heater. The fire spread very quickly, so police are looking into whether that liquid was some kind of fuel. 2 years ago, an arson attack killed 36 employees of the Kyoto Animation Studio. A 43-year-old man was charged in that incident. Moving to the coronavirus situation here in Japan, officials confirmed 16 Omicron infections on Friday. That brings the total cases of the variant to 50. The government is considering extending strict border controls to protect the country from Omicron. One of the latest cases is a Japanese man working at a U.S. Marine Corps base in the southern prefecture of Okinawa. Around 100 coronavirus infections have been reported recently at Camp Hansen.
We've asked the U.S. Marine Corps in Japan to conduct genomic analysis and temporarily stop personnel at Camp Hansen from leaving the base.
2 other Omicron cases are in Tokyo. One man returned from the United States on December 11th. He developed symptoms while isolating at home. The other was in close contact with an infected person who also returned from the U.S. earlier this month. That man went to watch a soccer match at a stadium near Tokyo on Sunday. Officials are asking about 80 people who were near him at the game to take a virus test. Tokyo's governor is calling on the central government to require everyone entering Japan to quarantine at designated facilities until tests can confirm they are not infected with the Omicron variant.
I believe that tightening quarantine measures is the best approach that Japan can take at the moment to protect its people from Omicron.
Government officials are considering extending Japan's tough border restrictions into next month and beyond. The nation has effectively banned new entry of all foreign nationals and added stricter quarantine rules for anyone returning from countries with confirmed Omicron cases. The government also plans to speed up the rollout of vaccine booster shots.
After seeking input from experts, we will make use of the Moderna vaccine, which was approved for use as a booster yesterday, to allow about 31 million medical workers and elderly people to get their 3rd doses earlier than the basic interval of 8 months after their second shots.
Prime Minister Kishida added the government plans to make oral drugs for the coronavirus available by the end of the month. Authorities across Japan confirmed 183 infections on Friday. There were no deaths. Tokyo reported 20 new cases. The daily tally in the capital has been below 50 for more than 2 months. North Korea marked the 10th anniversary of the death of former leader Kim Jong-il on Friday. His son and current leader, Kim Jong-un, attended a memorial event in Pyongyang. The state-run Korean Central Television aired footage of the ceremony. It showed people offering silent prayers in a square in the capital and elsewhere. The chairman of the Standing Committee of the Supreme People's Assembly stressed the legitimacy of Kim Jong-un, who succeeded his father. Choi Ryun-hae also said the late leader's accomplishments and the ruling Workers' Party's leadership will complete the building of a socialist power. An expert on North Korea says Pyongyang has replaced senior officials over the past 10 years, including a generational change. He noted Kim Jong-un has secured his hold on power.
Kim Il-sung was 36 years old when the country was founded. After that, he was in power for 46 years. We have to face the possibility that the Kim Jong-un administration will continue for decades.
The ruling party's Central Committee will hold a plenary session later this month to decide key policies. December 30th will mark the 10th anniversary of Kim Jong-un becoming the country's top military commander. A vocational college in Shanghai has dismissed a teacher for rejecting the Chinese government's official death toll of the Nanjing incident. China says 300,000 people were killed after the Imperial Japanese Army entered Nanjing in 1937. It designates December 13th as a national memorial day for the victims. Chinese media reported the teacher told her class at Shanghai Aurora College on Tuesday the official death toll is not supported by real data. She reportedly said reflections of the war should be encouraged instead of hatred. Her lecture caused an uproar on social media after a video of the class was posted online. The college announced the teacher's dismissal on Thursday. Japan's government says it's undeniable non-combatants were killed in the Nanjing incident, but it maintains it's difficult to determine the exact number of victims. Next, Hong Kong will hold its first Patriots-only Legislative Council election on Sunday. Pro-Beijing lawmakers are certain to win an overwhelming majority. The election had been postponed for over a year as China-backed authorities revamped Hong Kong's electoral system. As we'll see in our next report, democracy supporters are dismayed and campaigning has been subdued.
Horace Chung is a pro-China incumbent. He spoke at his party's headquarters last week.
I was the chairperson of the Legislative Council's legal panel and dealt with one country, two systems issues. I want to continue working for the next Legislative Council.
Most seats are not up for grabs. The general public can vote to decide only 20 of the legislature's 90 seats. Over 150 candidates have entered the race. All of them must obtain the recommendation of the election committee, which is dominated by pro-Beijing members. Pro-democracy parties have called such an election meaningless. They have given up on fielding their own candidates. A small number of pro-democracy individuals have decided to run anyway. Adrian Lau is one of them. Lau believes the legislature needs to hear pro-democracy voices.
I thought about not running in the election. But is it good for society to have no pro-democracy lawmakers, or just 2 or 3 for the next 4 years?
But a private think tank survey found over 80% of democracy supporters say there are no candidates they want to support. Many pro-democracy politicians are behind bars. Some would likely have been running in this election, but they were detained on charges of violating Hong Kong's national security law. Sports instructor Cody Wong has been interested in politics since he was a student. He has never failed to cast a vote. But this time, Wong is not even sure if he will go to the polls.
We can't support the people we want to be elected, and we can't change Hong Kong through this election. We can't change the results of the election, so why should we be interested?
Wong has been attending the trials of pro-democracy activists to show his support.
If they were running in the election, I would definitely vote. But there is nothing I can do for them. I feel so powerless.
Voters like Wong feel a growing sense of futility. Turnout in the Patriots-only election could be low, as democracy supporters lose hope that their votes could make any difference.
Turning now to Myanmar, where fighting between Karen ethnic forces and military junta troops has intensified on the border with Thailand. It's forced thousands of people to flee to the Thai side. The fighting reportedly broke out in the Karen state in southeastern Myanmar on Wednesday. The Thai army says over 2,500 people have fled to the city of Mae Sot. Aid groups say many are elderly and young children, and their numbers continue to grow. The fighting comes after the National Unity Government, formed by Myanmar's ousted civilian leaders, called on citizens and ethnic armed forces to revolt against military rule in September. The ethnic group's spokesperson says there are multiple casualties on the military side, but so far none among their fighters or citizens.
The military is targeting civilian militia forces. But it's not just them in our group. Other armed groups are also involved in our operations. We expect the fighting to escalate.
The Thai army says a shell fell into Thailand, but it did not harm any people or property. The army says it's protested to the Myanmar military over the incident. The coldest air of the season and heavy snow are set to cover parts of Japan during the weekend. Our meteorologist Jonathan Oh has the outlook for here and elsewhere in our World Weather Report.
Hello, we are going to be seeing a real chill in the air as we head through the weekend. We have been dealing with some snow across the northern areas of Japan, and that's going to be the case as we head through the weekend. Top, we're looking at snow all throughout the weekend. Elsewhere, we're going to see a cool blast of air. Temperatures are going to be in the single digits for highs on Saturday from Tokyo into Fukuoka, and more snow likely for the northeastern and northern areas of Japan as we see this wind coming off of the Sea of Japan. High of 9 in Tokyo, 7 in Fukuoka, Osaka, making it up to 10, but it's going to slowly warm up and moderate by Monday. But look at this, Sapporo staying below freezing all throughout the day on Saturday. Meanwhile, Typhoon Rai continues to move toward the west. It has left a lot of damage back in the Philippines. It is expected to continue to move toward the north and west. Vietnam, you'll be next as we head through the weekend, and then the system is expected to turn toward the north and east. Quick note on the United States, looking at some strong thunderstorms down toward the southern areas of the country as a low moves out with some warm air ahead of that. So that's going to be leading to the possibility of strong to severe thunderstorms. So be on the lookout for that. Rain expected over into the north and west. Vancouver at 8, 9 in Seattle. Notice really cold air moving its way down to the south and east. The contrast from Oklahoma City at 7 to 22 in Houston with thunderstorms extending over into Atlanta as we go through the day on Saturday. Now, as we wrap up the broadcast with the weather, take a look at this video. We're going down to Peru as dozens of pooches dressed up for a contest at the capital of the country Thursday. The Can Noel Christmas Parade contest searched for dogs with the best Santa look, or at least some of the cutest. The organizers designed the event to remind people to give their pets the attention they need during the busy holiday season. The winner of the day, Princess, who dressed up as a Christmas tree. That's the look at your forecast. Hope you have a wonderful weekend wherever you are.